Naked Shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and
welcome
holistic.
to With Insights
So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Iggy Garcia Live, episode 102. Man, we're screwing up the line. And today my guest is actually Ronnie Garcia, another brother with the same last name. And Krista, how you doing? Good to see you there. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
So we're here hanging out on my deck here, and we're kind of chilling and had some pizza and some lentils. That sounds like a great combination, doesn't it? Pizza and lentils.
All right.
Anyhow, but we're just here. We're hanging out. We're talking. We have a studio audience here who are watching the show because they have nothing better to do. Anyhow, and so we want to welcome everybody to the show. And today we're just going to take like a little moment of silence and just kind of think about the people who have transitioned before us, those who have given their lives, who have passed away, and people who meant a lot to us. And I'm really grateful and thankful for that. So just take a moment to think about all those folks and those that we never met. All right, very good. So it's a beautiful day today, and we're enjoying the weather. It's very nice. I went to the store and got some plants and some things for the yard here because, we're walking into some really turbulent times right now. And I think the show is going to be about what's on my mind and what's on Ronnie's mind. You have a young man's mind and an old man's mind. And we're going to kind of see, how we come together, how we meet in the middle, if we meet at all, if we agree or disagree. Mm-hmm. That's why I asked Ronnie to come over this evening to hang out with me and my family and just kind of talk and share about what's going on in his life. And as you know, I have posted some things online. For some people, it could be a very controversial question. As I asked, it could be very, very annoying. Lulu, that's my dog. So I posted some things. We got another 30 days, and another 30 days. You're gonna go outside. Another 30 days here from the governor, and so it kind of made me think a little bit. What's going on? Why did we get 30 more days? That doesn't seem like if we're opening things up, then why should we get slapped with more time? We should be able to travel and go to the dentist, do whatever we need to do. It's just starting to get to the place for me personally where I don't understand. And, and it's just kind of strange. And then the other topic was people who are having the police called on them because they're just doing normal things or they're doing whatever they're doing. Okay. And there have been people who've called. I know people personally who have called on people. And this is why I brought this up, because it's kind of weird. We're living in a country right now that is going through some flux and some change, and some things are happening. And so I'm gonna let Ronnie kind of go in there and talk a little bit about how he's feeling about what I posted today, or whatever he's on his mind. If you have questions for us, please do so and ask. Mm-hmm. All right, Ronnie.
Thanks, Iggy. I'm always a big fan of just modern day posting. I think because everyone has their own ideas. That's the beauty for me of social media, that we can express ourselves freely. So, when I see you post today about just politics, government, I personally am all for that. I love that, actually, because it gives us an inside view of what someone else thinks. And I honestly have no problem with it. I like to see where you come from, because I just learned today that Iggy was actually a part and affiliated with politics, in case those who don't know, which I am a huge fan of that. And so as we got to talking, I really got a better understanding about Iggy. So I really think that's really interesting to me, to see what his views are as he posts day-to-day politics, nature, the environment. Those are really important topics that I think many people don't really pay a lot of attention to nowadays. We see more things in the media and the mainstream with popularity, like, music, things that sell money. But if we talk about the things that really do matter in life, I personally am a big advocate for that. So I would just like to see, where you come from, Iggy, and I really do appreciate that you share that with everyone.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I ran for U.S. Congress back in 2002 and 2004. My first attempt was unsuccessful because of petition signatures and how that was, and so me getting on the ballot was void, was null and void. The second time around, I learned from that mistake and I got on the ballot, and I actually showed Ronnie the pictures. Those pictures are actually on my Facebook album, so you can actually see the actual results there when I ran for office. And so I was telling Ronnie, I had like almost close to 10,000 votes just in Franklin County, and basically that's where my support came from back then. Because when you don't have money and you don't have support, it's hard to campaign outside into the other counties. But it was a good experience. So I have an insight to what politics may look like, especially on the federal level too, and also the local level, because just the way it moves. So I kind of understand and I kind of get a gist of what's happening. So a lot of people don't understand why I post things that I post. Sometimes I post them because when you have a little bit of an insight, where you're kind of in the groove a little bit with it and you've had experience with it, you understand what's happening. You understand what's going on. Now, it doesn't mean I know everything, but it means I have an idea, a little better idea than you do, because you don't have that point of reference. You don't have that experience. I do. I have that experience. I have that point of reference. That's why I say sometimes the things I do. And I'm not always right. Sometimes I get it wrong, and that's okay. And I'll be the first person to admit that I'm wrong. And that's something about Iggy Garcia. You'll always know. If I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But you got to prove to me I'm wrong first. You have to show me that I'm not correct. And then we'll see, and we'll sit down, and we'll talk, and we'll share. Because I feel being a transparent person is important to me. Being able to share my feelings, emotions, and expressing, because the work that I do personally, it commands that. It commands for me to be a certain way. Yeah, it does. And and you have to remember, I'm a human being, so I come from ego sometimes, and sometimes I'm able to connect and channel energies that that are projected my way. So I'm able to understand that. So, but not to get too deep into the story of me, because that's a long one. The story of me, but in 53 years of life, you do experience a lot of different things, and you do. Those are your personal experiences you have in your life too. But so I posted that because I know there are a lot of people out there right now who are having a lot of mixed emotions about what's happening out in the world, what's happening right now in this universe that we have, this whatever you want to call it, this existence, this moment in time. There are people who right now who are very frustrated because they want to be safe, they want to be healthy. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
So there are people who, and I'm one of them too, and I'm sure Ronnie is too. Okay, and they want to be able to see tomorrow. But then you have another group of people, and bless them too, because they have the right to express their values and their beliefs of what they're doing. And it's not that they're imposing them on people; they're just voicing their beliefs of how they feel. They feel out of control. They don't feel like they're able to move, function. They're worried about their bills, and it's not that they're not worried about their health. If you can't pay for your insurance, or you can't pay for something, you have to worry about your health very quickly. I mean, do you agree with me? Because that can happen.
Absolutely. In today's society, we take those things for granted, especially here in this country. Healthcare, education, food on our table. I mean, we're just so blessed. Honestly, more than we've ever been before. And with this pandemic, I think some of us are starting to really realize that we're taking things for granted, and that's why I really think that paying attention to those little things, that as we talked about with your posts and bringing things to light that many people don't speak about, those are really things that I think that really, really need to be spoke about, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, there's people who, you try to keep it as clean as possible without attacking people and hurting people, because, some people don't understand what the other person's thinking. And when I post these things, it's because I'm asking a question. I'm asking something. I want to know. And so, but some people, of course, that's just in their nature. They'll take it to the extreme, and then some other people come across like they don't know what's going on. And then the people who take it to the extreme sometimes attack these people, and that happens. That's just the world. But my posts are not there to aggravate or to create, a whirlwind of fire, whatever you want to call it. It's a legitimate question. It's legitimately, being in a house locked in with, is not easy. Especially if that's not what you're used to doing. Some people are used to that. Some people are accustomed to that kind of behavior, but I work from home, but that doesn't mean that I'm accustomed to that behavior. I have to be able to move out. So right now, the world that I'm living in, is becoming very, I told Ronnie yesterday, I thought yesterday was Wednesday, I really, and I'm thinking to myself, I forgot the drum circle. Not because I forgot because, it's like, my days get mixed up a little bit. Yeah. And they start to merge, and you don't know what day it is. And he goes, did anybody say anything? I said, no, I think no one said anything because last time I told everybody just don't bother me. But it's how it is.
Yeah.
So how are you seeing the things now? What's your take? How do you feel about all this that's going down? The governor said 20 more days, 30 more days.
I think, for me, I think he's doing, in my opinion, I think he's doing what he's getting told by professionals. I think that, it's a huge risk if you open up now. I know many people economically are struggling right now. I get it, It's just so hard because you got to understand you have to really consider, people's lives. You have to consider their jobs, people who are unemployed. People who are living paycheck to paycheck. Unfortunately, we live in a society where we don't really learn about money, wealth, money organization, how to save our money, how to handle our money, more importantly, how to build credit. We don't learn those things, not until the real world affects us. There's no school, there's no lessons in life, I should say, before adulthood. As a little kid, we don't know. So as we get older, some of us don't really tend to really learn more and learn how to handle those resources that we have. So to me, I think the governor is doing the best that he can, and I think that opening now, to me, isn't really the safest thing. I think by waiting time to see as the weeks go by more, I think we should really be more careful, and I think we should wait because we don't want to get a second wave. That's the last thing we all want. I don't want to get sick. I don't want Iggy to get sick. I don't want any of you watching to get sick or to have any of your family get sick or friends just because we open up too early and we get our money back, we start our jobs back. There's just so many risks, so it's really hard to really consider. To balance, in my opinion.
And I'm curious to know why. I'm sure that people are struggling because eventually, things come due, and supposedly you're not supposed to, collect on certain things right now because, that's kind of the mandate that's been passed down. But I'm believing that it's a lot more than that. For some people, it's their constitutional right, it's their belief, and it's a violation of things. For some people, just to wear a mask in work and around, they feel like that's an intrepid in their rights. And maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. I'm not here to necessarily judge. I'm just here to kind of just voice the voices that won't necessarily speak for themselves in public. But I'm here to say there are people who are not in agreement with a lot of you. There's a lot, I don't know, or with me or with Ronnie or whatever. There are a lot of people who believe that when is going to be the right time?
Right.
And, it could be 6 months from now, and it will never be the right time. It might be tomorrow, might not be the right time. And I see that point too. When do we hit that bell curve, and when do we go down? When is the right moment? Because statistically, statistics also, can change very quickly.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so in one moment you might be going like this. And the next thing you know, it just takes one person to cause to affect the group, affect the herd. Next thing you know, boom, we're right back up. Yeah. So there's really no, and I think that's what people are trying to say. There's really no way to say, what is going to be right. I've got facts and numbers in front of me, but that doesn't mean anything to people. In the end, it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't really. They look at them, they're like, okay, fine. More people died of tuberculosis in the last 3 months than the COVID-19, So people see these numbers and they see and they rationalize in their mind, and they're thinking, well, shit, COVID hasn't killed that many. I think the biggest thing that has helped us is that we have listened and we stayed home and we're complying. And I think for some people, they feel they've complied enough, that they've done enough for themselves. For those of you who don't feel that we should leave the houses, then don't leave your house. That's my suggestion. You know, honestly, I mean, truthfully, don't go out. But for those of you who need to go out and feel like you constitutionally you need to go, you're allowed to go out. Go out. I can't tell you not to, because you're not going to do anyhow. You're not going to listen to me anyhow. But the point is, just be safe. Be careful. Just do the best you can, because no one knows anything. The ones who went out, the ones who want to stay in, nobody knows anything. You know, so we're really in a place where we don't know nothing. We think we know, and the numbers move and go up and down and flip around and go all over the place. You know, and I know people who swear by numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
You know, numbers don't lie, Iggy.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, but numbers don't lie also economically too.
They don't.
So, and you know, Ronnie works for the government, and so economically, you know, they're feeling it. They're feeling it, and you know, it's a reality for everybody at all levels. You know, at all levels.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people question because they're like, okay, so I can go to the grocery store. You know, I can go buy shit. All right, but I can't go and get a burrito and sit down and eat it.
Right.
You know. But I can walk by all these people who are hacking and coughing on me, or wearing a mask, or have touched every freaking can because, oh, well, let me see what's on that label, and I'll put it back on the shelf. I mean, there's so much, you know, that happens that you can't. There's no control. How sterile are we going to be? How sterile can we actually be? I don't know.
Yeah, those are great questions to ask.
I don't know.
We and that's the thing. We're human. We don't know. And I think as we're going, everyone, not just the higher ups, not just the government, not just the bosses and the supervisors, but every single one of us, we're all learning as we're going in general in life. You know what I mean? So there's always going to be complications. There's always going to be these limits that we reach, these disagreements, but we have to agree on one thing, that we all want to strive. We all want to be healthy. We all want the best for each other at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, our lives don't depend on us being a Democrat or Republican, you know, a higher up administration worker, a construction worker. I mean, any title you want, any title of jobs that are, you know what I mean? We're all connected, I think, in my opinion, and we all really do depend on each other. So I think health-wise, that's the number one priority. And I just think that if we truly, you know, continue to want to learn and really be open-minded and really try to see past what our barriers and what our walls and what our own filters have, we can really see far, and we can really see the end result, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think one of the advantages that we have in this modern time is that we have technology.
We do.
We have phones, we have internet, we have computers. And back in the 1800s or whatever, someone posted there, they didn't really have communication in the capacity that we can communicate now. We're able to, you know, disseminate information very quickly and very fast out to the world. And so we're able to do certain things that had to be like voiced either through some type of other type of communication form. So right now we're able to say, hey, you know what, stay at home. So, you know, you can get to millions of people very quickly versus, you know, millions of people in the past. So that's one thing that is an advantage to us being in this pandemic, because we're learning how to shoot information around very fast and very quickly. And I think that's the biggest plus that we have, that we're able to communicate faster. And I think sometimes we get inundated with a lot of information, and we get inundated with a lot of stuff that people are posting. Dude, I mean, I know everybody who's watching this show, and I know you and me have gotten so much stuff in the back offices of Messenger, back in the back of our Facebook messengers and emails and texts and memes and and you know, some of you are going, stop, you know, and some of us are like, yeah, you know. But the point is, that's information. It could be overload too. It can get to the point where you just ignore it, and then it's like you ignore the good stuff too. You know, you can actually ignore the information that you should have been listening to. So I don't know, you know. I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Here's a question that I want to propose to you. Do you think having access to all this information and data, because we have unlimited access, we can research anything we want, we can see people's lives, literally. We can see who's dying, we can see, you know, people's personal lives. Do you think that's a blessing? Is it a curse? Is it a good thing to have right now? What do you think?
I don't think it's a curse.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily say it's a blessing.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of what where we're at. It's in the times that we live. We have it, we use it. You know, if Native Americans had telephones, I'm sure they would use them back then, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they had shovels, I'm sure they would shovel. You know, if they had a pickup truck, they would drive it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what I've been told
Mm-hmm.
by indigenous cultures and people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we think people are primitive. But now we're in this time where we get a lot of information very quickly, very fast. It's part of who we are. It's part of our culture. It's part of embedded in us, you know. It's probably a little bit easier for you to use because you kind of grew up with it. I didn't necessarily grow up with computers and iPads and iPhones and watches and stuff like that. You know, I had a quarter or a dime in my pocket. It was a dime at one time. And then it went up to a quarter, and I had it in my pocket. And I had to find the nearest payphone if I had to make a call. But if you made a call, that was bad news because you were in trouble. Something happened.
Wow.
So you never called home. You just went home. And when the lights start, when it's getting dusk like this, if the street light came on, you were in trouble.
Wow.
And you knew it. And if the light was on, you might as well just pick your own switch and had it ready. That's Latino life. Sorry.
Times have really changed, haven't they?
They have changed a lot. A lot. You know, I come from a generation that we didn't really have video games in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had Pong later, but that was nothing. We had TV. We had radio. I think we were more fixated with our radios than versus TV.
Right.
You know, radio was very important. Music was very important to us. It spoke to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what was very powerful in that time. And depending on what genre you were in, you know, rock and roll, classical, musicals, you gravitated to those types of stuff. And then progression, of course, things progress and things evolve. And, you know, it starts to expand. And now we're all caught up to some degree, you know. I mean, we are, but we're not, you know. I use technology just because that's the way we communicate now. You know, I don't know if you guys ever knew. When I was 15 years old, I wanted to own my own radio station. I really wanted to study and I wanted to learn. And I went to in Reynoldsburg. It was a ham radio store, and I went to the ham radio store, and I walked in the door, smiling like this, and I go, "Hi," and they're like, "Hi." Excuse me. Pardon me. Not COVID. So the guy goes, "How can I help, son?" Just like that. He's like, "How can I help you, son?" And I'm going, "Well, I'm just curious how I can start my own radio station." And the guy goes, he started laughing at me. I'm going, "Okay." I'm like, "Not right now, but later." He goes, "Son, that costs millions and millions of dollars, and you don't have that. You may never have that."
Right.
He looked at me, and he looked me right in the face. He goes, and then he looked at his buddy next to him and goes, "But I can sell you ham radio. You can talk to friends and whatever." And I'm like, "No, I want to know how you use the amplification to use to transmit, because you can transmit in small band waves." And so my dream got pummeled that time. It just like, I was like, "Oh God." And then I just went away.
Wow.
And then years later, you know, I never went away because I became a disc jockey, a DJ. You know, I would do whatever it took just to kind of keep me in the flow with that. And then one day, the internet came to life in a powerful way.
Yeah.
There's YouTube, there's Block Talk Radio, and next thing I knew, I had my own show.
Wow.
And I had my own radio show. It wasn't perfect,
Right.
but I just did it. I recorded it and just launched them up. And now I have my podcast, and I'm here with you, and now it's like second nature to me. I enjoy it. I love it. But that's kind of how this platform started. Just me having a dream and a desire to do it. Now, I mean, of course, there's a lot of podcasters now and people doing shows, but that's kind of how, just kind of how it started. So,
it's an interesting way to start, and it's something that, you know, many people I think have an idea or a passion of what they want to do, but to really follow through and come through with that, you know, I think we lack that, and I think for you to do that is just great, and that's why all of us watching right now are so drawn to that and drawn to you and your show, man, because it really gives us a platform to really express ourselves freely. There's no cost to be on this platform. There's no label you have to be on this platform. You know, there's no social status you have to be on this platform. This is just stuff free and just good food for thought that we get that not even schools are teaching us, you know?
Yeah,
So
and it's true. You know, I never really had any formal training, but I was self-taught.
Right.
I taught myself how to do all this stuff, and you can do it too. And it's not hard, but that's kind of how With Insights Radio started, the programming that I do, which was actually the anchor of all these shows. I've had a lot of people who had their own shows for a while. And then, here I am, just doing my Iggy Garcia Live, the Naked Shaman series. The Naked Shaman is just, letting it all out, just letting it loose, letting it be, Let's ask those questions that nobody really wants to ask sometimes. And, I'm going to be that guy. And, some of you guys know me. I ask those tough questions. I even ask the metaphysical and holistic community, is that real?
Right.
I don't know about that. Show it to me. Prove it to me, And, because you should be that way. You should be able to question and ask. And, that's how you learn. When you ask questions, you learn. You learn that you're either going to be told, shut up, or you're going to learn, Iggy, let me teach you, let me show you, let me see. You'd be surprised. Some people get offended when you ask them questions, when you challenge their belief system. And, I don't get upset.
No.
No one really bothers me anymore. No one really goes, oh, yeah, wait, no, I don't get that.
You don't
No. Because they know I'm coming from a place of heart, I'm coming from a place that, I'm genuinely asking because I genuinely care. And when you genuinely care, no one's going to really give you shit about it. And so that's something that I've learned doing these shows and doing these podcasts that, just got to be yourself.
You do.
You don't pretend to be something you're not. I'm not going, hello, this is Iggy Garcia with Insights Radio, and I am live on TV. I'm here with Ronnie Garcia, and he happens to have the same name that I do. Right. We have the same surname. I wonder if we have the same ancestor. Possibly. No, that's just not how.
And you're not trying, what I see, and I'm sure most of you see, you're not trying to make it all about you, like most individuals do, I think. They try to feed their own name. They want to build their name. They want to make their own brand and so forth. But, Iggy's literally like, you're here for everyone watching. You're here for everyone who may not even be watching, who wants to have an idea of what's going on, and they happen to see, oh, wow, I can check this platform out by a local friend who's watching it, or I see someone's watching it, or it's popped up on my feed. Let me check it out. You know what I mean? It goes back to what I said. There's no cost to being here. You know what I mean? And that's just something that I think is, an understatement. Again, just understatement.
Yeah, and Ronnie knows how important it is to me. I was like, Ronnie, I gotta do my show.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, dude, let's just drink a beer. I was like, we'll drink after.
It's Friday. I was like, it's Friday. It's been a heck of a week.
But it's a way for people to express themselves, share,
no, it is.
and just share what's on their mind. I know a lot of you guys have questions. If you have any questions for us about what you think about what's going on in the world, shoot us a line. Give us a heads up. I know there's getting a lot of people.
I also want to say I'm also grateful because, me being my age, you being your age, I'm glad that we can come together and talk about topics that many people can't really talk about, or we can agree, or if we do disagree. I haven't had any bad vibes from Iggy. If we disagree on a topic, it's educational for me, actually. A lot of my friends who I know, they're like, oh, I don't really like to speak to Elder Crew because my thoughts are different than theirs. They look at me as a downgrade. They want to be, you know what I mean? They
downgrade?
Yeah, that's what they say.
I never heard that one before.
And so forth. They look at it as a downgrade that, your generation's the worst. I'm just tired of hearing generations are the worst. Just generations the better. I mean, we're here.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
It's good to be here.
That's how I look at it, guys. It's good to be here.
It's important. I mean, we learn from our ancestors. I'm your ancestor.
Yeah.
I'm your elder.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who's lived a lot of passes before you. It doesn't make me better than you.
Right.
It just means I have more experiences and more memories.
Right.
To share with you.
Right. About
how I experienced life.
Yeah.
And I think downgrade. I've never heard that before. Shit, my friends want to downgrade me. They say that about me. That's funny.
But yeah, I mean, just to see as we continue to go in life, as we continue to touch the people's lives, in everyday contact, who you see, who you speak to, just be yourself, just don't be scared to talk to people, I mean, we're all here for each other at the end of the day, as we keep saying. And when I go to the grocery store, if I see someone struggling to reach a shelf, I go and help them, opening the door for someone, those little things like that, because I learned that, people, you don't know what people are going through in life. There's always some people have stories to tell, people have things that they're going through, so we truly don't know what's going on, so, and if you do, but the thing is, if you do come into a encounter with someone who can be dogmatic, can be very trespassing of you as a person, and you feel like they're crossing the line with something, you know, it's good to, I think, to really handle yourself in a good way and to be very smart and very wise and not take things personal, because again, we don't know what people are going through.
This is true, and excuse me. One of my old man, whippersnap. Hey, whippersnap. Anyhow, you know, we're gonna get through this, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the message I want to share today. Is we're gonna get through this. We're gonna be okay. The reality is that, you know, there might be people who may not get through this, who may not. We may not see some people that we know, and that's a reality that could happen. How we respond and react to that is going to be really up to us. But the majority of us are going to make it. We're going to be okay. We're going to get out on top. We're going to come out with new awakenings, new feelings, new emotions, and we're going to do things that, you know, differently. I really believe that we're going to step out our doors when we can officially step out our doors, you know, and say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, you know. You know, I honestly believe that Ronnie, in his wildest dream, would ever think he'd be doing a radio show with me right now. I mean, we play soccer together, we play futsal and stuff, but I know that in his mind, he never thought we were going to come to this conversion.
No. Seriously. No, I didn't
No,
think
really.
about it.
Think about it. I mean, think about just all the synchronicities that happen when you're in lockdown and when you're going through a situation. You know, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how it happened. He finagled his way on my show.
I did. I finessed.
Yeah, he finessed it, huh? He upgraded.
I upgraded.
Since I downgraded. No, I'm just teasing. No, but you see, you don't know. You don't know how spirit connects people. You don't know how the universe works. The universe is very interesting.
It
is very magical, and you know, it's like now he has new vocabulary. It's good to be here.
Yeah, I do.
You know, he says it more than I do.
I do. Because I just realized, you know, I'm a big fan of, you know, there's a positive and there's a negative aspect to life. As above, so below. You know, there's always a counterpart to things. Good energy, bad energy. I want to step into the good part of life, the good, positive energy aspect of life. I've already experienced the bad, you know what I mean? And I want to learn more and I want to grow constantly. So with Iggy, you know, that's what made me join you and your platform. As I really saw that, and I think one day, honestly, to be honest with you, I think one day I was just, you know, on Facebook like we all are, and I just happened to see Iggy live. I said, let me check this out.
Yeah, I invited him.
Yeah.
To watch. Right.
And so I just said, wow, you know what? This is actually really good information. I didn't take the time to really do it. Maybe my schedule was too busy my excuse. I didn't prioritize it probably. Just many things in life, you know, because here in the States, I know we all get busy. Our time is like this. Time is money. We're always on the move. We don't ever take time to really think and to stop and to calm down and breathe and say, you know what? Let me meditate. Let me pause for a second and see where I'm at, and let me acknowledge myself and what I've done and so forth. So that's what I think.
And so I'm glad that you know, he watched the show. He got hooked a little bit, and you know, I just asked him to say, you know, join our town hall meeting. That's kind of where it started. And you know, tonight I said I just want a different perspective, a younger point of view on life and how they see life. I mean, we experience life however we want to experience, but from a youthful point of view, it's you're seen different, you know, because sometimes in our youth, you know, all of us who are older understand this. We think that nothing will happen to us. We're invincible. You know, we got all the time on the world.
Right.
And you know, yesterday we were having a little conference call with some of our other buddies, and one of my friends goes, "Yeah, well, I hope to be wise like you, and I get to be your age." And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you get to my age at 53, that means I'm either going to be 106 or dead. That's what I told him. I said that. He's like, and he really thought about that, and we all sat there going, dude, yeah, that's kind of weird. If you're 53, I'm really freaking old. You know, it's like, and it kind of hit me, and I'm thinking to myself, holy crap. I was like, that when he said that, he said when he's 53, I'm thinking, I just froze for a minute. I was just like, it really gets, you start to really think about your mortality.
You do.
You know, you start to think about things. You know, when Not that it consumes you. It's just you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, when I was 25, 26, 28, I didn't think about that stuff. That was the last thing on my mind.
Right.
Honestly, I didn't think about it. I was just thinking about, you know, what I'm going to do next, what house I'm going to buy. You know, am I going to be able to run this restaurant, run that restaurant, you know? It was a different time. And so this pandemic has been really good for me because it's having me think about a lot of things. Where I want to spend my next 20 years, 30 years, whatever is left in my tank, in my spiritual tank, my physical tank. Because everything has its limit, and this body is very limited. This body only can do so much for a period of time. We talked about sports, how I used to jump and run as fast as you guys.
Yeah.
And, you know, they were imagining in their minds me jumping. And I told them I could dunk not a basketball, but a volleyball. On a basketball hoop, I could actually dunk. That's how high I can jump. And that's why my son always calls me Mario. I don't know if you ever heard my son call me Mario.
Yeah.
He says, you're like Mario. Because he remembers I used to be able to do that. Believe it or not, folks, I'm that pygmy. That little jumping pygmy.
Yeah.
I could get up in the air, man. That little jumping Peruvian, you know?
You had hops.
Oh, yeah. From time to time, it shows, you know, in the game. You ever notice that?
I
Sometimes
do.
you'll see me just jump, and you're like, everybody goes, did he just jump like that high? Yeah.
You still got it, man.
Yeah, it bounces in from time to time. You know, you'll get it from time to time. You get in the flow. And that whining is the dog in the background. For some reason, they let her out while we're doing our show. And
She's whining.
I think she just wants to talk on the show.
She probably does.
She probably wants to share her peace of mind. She's like, there are a bunch of crazy people in this house. I'm translating for her. And, yeah, they feed me, but, man. Okay, Lou. Yeah, she said that, you know, she's just doing the best she can, my dog. Now she says I'm lying.
Look at her.
Go get your toy. But yeah, that's my dog. You never know what's going to happen in these shows, right? You never know what's going to happen on.
You really never
That's why
know.
you're going to stay alive, right? Expect the unexpected.
You have to.
And so, you know, we're just hanging, we're just chilling, we're talking, we play a little archery, a little chess, a little checkers from time to time. You know, we connect and communicate. And, you know, that's kind of how we've been. Ronnie and I have known each other for a long time, you know, but I think at this capacity we're learning more about, you know, ourselves, you know, through this pandemic, through this moment in time. We have mutual friends, and, you know, he knows my son. We all play sports together. We all have a good time. But, yeah, the dog.
I know, right?
My dog's like, I don't know him. When did he come here?
What's he doing here?
Go over there. We'll have you on the show next week. But, yeah, I mean, so, guys, I also, you know, I posted about food.
Yeah.
I posted about food. And you know what? In the beginning of this pandemic sweep, I had mentioned people should go out and buy food. And everybody's like, oh, what? You're going to cause panic, Iggy. You're going to cause a panic. You're going to cause... I was like, what panic? It's better to be prepared than not, right? And that's the way I looked at it. And I wasn't trying to ask people to go hoard things. She agrees with me. My dog agrees with me. She goes, he bought me dog food.
Look at her.
Yeah. She's like, bought me dog food. Yes, I did. That's right, baby girl. But, you know, and so I'm thinking to myself, okay. People bought toilet paper galore, right? But no one went and bought food galore, as far as I know. But now they have a limit on how much you can buy at certain stores. There's a little sticker right there. 2 cans per person, 4 cans per person.
Right.
That kind of, the reality starts to sink in. And, you know, and I was thinking, so how do I address this message to people without coming across like, go hoard everything, because they won't let you anyhow. But
Right.
how do you move into that space and be gentle about it? You know, I said, you know, if you got some money and you can go buy food, it might be a good idea, because you're going to eat it regardless, right?
Right.
You're going to use it at some point. So it's not like it's going to go bad. Dried food and canned food doesn't necessarily go bad right away. It takes a while. And then, you know, some of these seeds you can grow too. You can you know, make some sprouts out of things and eat the sprouts. So you really have to be very creative in what you're doing here and how things are working. So I encourage people to go out and shop and buy things, because you know what? You may have to. Because according to the news, unless they're lying to you, because some people think they are lying to us, they call it fear porn. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, so they're growing vegetables. So I heard people say, well, Iggy, why don't they just go and just buy it from them? Because there are certain laws they prohibit you from doing that.
Right.
You can't go to the farm and buy things. There are contracts and stuff. Believe it or not, folks, this is a true story. I'm not lying to you. This is stuff you can do research on. You can do the magic finger and push Yahoo or Google, and you can learn very quickly, that some of these things you can't do.
Right.
And so, there's things that have gone to food banks and stuff, but they only last so long.
It does, yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think
all this food rotting, man, on the vine.
I don't personally understand it, to be honest with you. Why someone's gonna go and hoard everything just for their own use. I don't understand it. For goodness sake, I had to wake up like at 7 in the morning just to go to Target to get toilet paper one time, right before they open, guys. I just think about stuff like that, and I'm like, do you really need that? Is that really necessary? I mean, do you even use that much toilet paper for? So I just think definitely that it's definitely not necessary. I mean, we should only use what we have to use. It comes with food, toiletries in general. I mean, it's like someone going to a gas station and hoarding all the gas. Do you really need all that gas? For your car? No, you don't. There's a supply coming. Just wait. Just be patient and wait. You don't have to take it all just for your own gain because you personally feel like you have to. I mean, I understand you may feel like that, and there may be a reason behind it, but it's not the end of the world. There's always going to be more coming in eventually.
That's what we hope.
That's what we hope. Of course, that's what we hope.
We hope that it's coming in. I mean, we have to trust that what we're being told is true, but we know that experience. We know how that goes sometimes. Sometimes the things it tells us are not necessarily true. There's a fine line, and depending what faction you're on, what group you belong to, if you're the red or the blue show, if you like to watch the red show, they give you different information. If you like to watch the blue show, they give you different information. So it's really where you're getting your information from. It's really where you're getting it. So depending how important it is to you, and I'm just saying, there's so much that goes on in this world that we don't even know half of what's going on. Not even a quarter.
We don't.
And
we're not in control.
No, we're not.
And people want to be.
Yeah, and that's why people want to go out, because they want to feel a sense of control.
Yeah.
Because right now people feel like they're being controlled.
They are.
They're being told what to do. They're being mandated to do this or do that. They're being told wash their hands. They're being told wear a mask. They're being told wash their clothes after they come from outside. They're being told all these different things, which they're not accustomed to.
Exactly.
And so it's a new way of life. Will we wear masks forever? Probably not, most likely. But for a while, we probably will. And, there are people who wear and there are people who don't. Like yesterday I wore a mask. Today I didn't wear a mask.
We're not wearing masks right now.
Yeah, we're not wearing masks. Don't call the police. Get us in trouble.
I thought about that.
I got my shovel here.
Someone...
Shh, I'm growing a garden. Don't tell anybody. Just teasing. Oh, I hear a little birdie. Anyhow. It's you got to have fun with it a little bit. I mean, I know it's a serious topic, and I understand that it's something that it's on everybody's mind. I mean, everybody's thinking about this. It's not like no one's not thinking about this, but we're going through some rough patches right now, and I'm going to call it as it is. It's some rough patches. There's some things that right now that we have to really work on, and it's not going to be easy for everybody. It's not going to be easy for everybody. My dog's even. She's like, get off the damn show. And she's like, pet me. And she's like, no, but that's my train of thought.
I know, right?
This is now turning into a comedy show.
It is.
My Latin life. Me and my dog and my friend. And my fresca on the table over there.
Right.
That's funny.
Life is good.
Life is good.
At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're all living in a country where we have our luxuries. After the show, we're all going to turn off our our phones, social media. Some of us, we're going to go inside, we're going to have a good meal, we're going to take a warm shower, go to bed. I mean, those are just luxuries, guys, that we have. I look at it like that, you know.
And there's Hamza.
Oh yeah, Hamza's watching.
Hamza's watching. Hamza, what's up?
Remember Ramadan, man, so he's able to eat right now.
Hey, you can eat right now. Drink some water for us.
Yeah, have a good meal, man.
Him and Lofty.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like Lofty was telling a story about Ramadan. So tomorrow, we told Lofty that we would actually join him in a Ramadan celebration. I don't know if you're doing it.
I ate breakfast.
No, I said tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow. Okay,
Yeah.
tomorrow.
So we talked to him and we
Yeah.
said, hey, we're going to at least attempt to at least get some days in of fasting.
Yeah.
Just to feel what it feels like to, fast. And they're fasting for 30 days, which is, that's a strong commitment.
That's very strong.
Yeah, so that's a very strong commitment to,
No
cleanse
water.
the body, no water, no food, until sunset.
Until sunset.
So, yeah. And the sun just set, what, half an hour ago? No, an hour ago. Half hour ago?
Half hour ago.
Half hour ago, yeah. So, yeah. So, guys, we're just about there, 9 o'clock mark. And I don't know, is there anything you want to leave with the listeners with?
I just want to just mention that, continue to stay strong, guys. As Iggy told y'all, I work for the government, county government here in Columbus, Ohio. So, as I see people every day. I talk to people every day. I'm a people person myself. I tell them, because they pay their taxes. I talk to them and I let them know, and I say, hey, just stay strong. I'm right there with you, honestly, as well. I'm the same as you. I'm paying my taxes as well. So just stay strong. Don't get impatient. I know I was telling Iggy today. I think we all have our limits, our breaking point, where we're like, I just can't do this anymore. I just can't do this anymore. I think it's good to find something to really keep your mind going, stay busy, keep your mind occupied, because if we just think and think and think and think and what am I going to do, I think we become incapable, and we just don't really achieve what we're trying to achieve at the end of the day, and that's to help everyone. So I think that, DM me if you want, send me a message. I know Iggy's always available, just know that, we're not all alone. That's why we have the blessing of doing this with you guys, having a platform where we can talk to each other to keep us going through the week. It's like fueling each other. We're giving each other gasoline to keep going, keep us strong. Yeah. So that's my message.
Good. So that's Ronnie's message, which is a powerful message, and it's pretty concise and to the point. I'm just going to coattail right onto that and just kind of say, hey, you know what? Do the best you can every day. Just try to be a better version of yourself the next day. Try to honor yourself, respect yourself. That way, when you step out into the light, into the world, you're coming in with a good, passionate, loving energy with that you've created for yourself. And so I like to say, ho'oponopono, it's good to be here, matakuyasan, namaste, irisikwi, what is above is below, all the thing, listen to your higher self, all the things that you line up in alignment with, honor that and respect that. But most of all, honor and respect who you are in this world, in this thing that we call life. And for some people, it can be very difficult. And for some people, it seems very easy. But we all have our moments in time. So remember that we all have our moments where we're weak, and there's moments where we're very strong and powerful. And you know what? That's what makes us and molds us and creates us and helps us move into the next moment. All right, guys. So I will see you guys tomorrow at the drum circle at 8 p.m. We will drum because I know tomorrow's Saturday. I put it on my calendar. Okay, and then I'll be back Wednesday, and I will be interviewing Laura Belg. She's a friend of mine. She'll be on the show. I believe in a couple weeks I'm going to have Julie North on. Nice. Julie North is going to be sharing her thoughts and ideas and things about what's going on in the world. I also have Sammy Castro is going to be coming on here. I haven't set a date with him yet, but we're going to get it together. If you want to be on my show, if you want to be here live on Iggy Garcia Live, let me know. Send me a note, send me a text, and then we'll make it happen. We'll arrange it. And you don't have to be metaphysical. You don't have to be holistic. If you just want to be on here and share your thoughts and be, give back to the community in a way that you feel that let me know. we can do it via Zoom or via the chair next to me, you know.
Right here.
You know, he's in live in person. So don't be afraid to contact. Everybody has something to share, because that's why my show, and that's why the Anchor show is called With Insight. That's why withinsightsradio.com, it's With Insights, because within us, we all have insights.
We do.
Okay? To inspire, to create, and to, you know, just do and be. So if you ever wonder why I called it With Insights, it's because I believe everybody has insights and everybody has it within themselves. Mm-hmm. All right, with that, I just want to say good night and have a good evening. Be well. Mm-hmm. Enjoy your beautiful weekend, because it's supposed to be about 70 degrees. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can't beat that. And we'll see you next time. All right. Take care, guys.